Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of the video. So, now we're going to touch base on the fights that took place a couple weight classes above the weight class where Shakur Stevenson defeated Teofimo Lopez. Now we're gonna touch base on what happened in Puerto Rico and what happened in the UK. In Puerto Rico, like I said already, we had Xander Zayas unifying the WBO Junior Middleweight Championship against the WBA champion Abbas Brown. Xander Zayas, like I said, becoming victorious. Now Puerto Rico has another unified world champion. And the fight went as I predicted it would be. I knew that Zayas had the better footwork, the better movement, the better angles, more clever style of a boxer. Whereas Abbas Brown was gonna look to close the gaps and bang on the inside. But I knew that Zayas' superiority as far as his skills go, they were gonna be too much for Abbas, and Zayas would come out victorious. He performed well. There was moments where he decided to trade on the inside and give the fans excitement. Other for the most part, he dictated the pace. So I guess I could say that he controlled most of the fight. There was times that it looked that he was placed in danger because Abbas kept putting that relentless pressure. He kept pressuring. As Sayas was boxing on the back foot, sure, he was hitting Barao with jabs, right hands. He would catch him coming in, but Abbas kept coming, and he proved to be a live dog in there. He never gave up. He fought to the very end, and you know he he proved why he was a world champion. Like I said, maybe not the most known fighter. If you ask a casual fan, he wouldn't know who Abbas. He or she wouldn't have known who Abbas Barao is. Abbas is maybe not a known name, probably not a fighter that sells out venues unless he's fighting a big name or a big name in his hometown like Zayas, like Zayas was or is. Um, that's the reason why I guess you could say people don't know Abbas, but he was a live dog there all night. He wasn't just there to collect a paycheck. Credit to him for going to enemy territory where everybody was booing against him. I'm sure at the end of the night, all the Puerto Ricans paid their respects to Abbas for putting his belt on the line and showing up to fight against their hometown champion. So credit to him, and congratulations to Sayas. I've been a big fan of Puerto Rican fighters as long as I can remember, going back to Sixto Escobar, Wilfred Benitez, Wilfredo Gomez, Edwin Rosario, Camacho, Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad. The list goes on and on of fighters that I've always admired from the Puerto Rican island. And I've said it once, I've said it a few times, and I'm going to keep saying it because I truly believe it. That Xander Zayas will be the next great Puerto Rican superstar after Miguel Cotto. During Miguel Cotto's career and after Miguel Cotto's career, once he retired, other world champions, merged up from the island, but never reached that caliber status of being a superstar, a fighter who sells out the Madison Square Garden 9 times, who fights on pay-per-view, who's a pay-per-view star, who headlines against Mayweather, against Pacquiao, against Margarito, against Sergio Martinez, against Canelo. We have not seen a Puerto Rican fighter develop into a superstar like Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was the last Puerto Rican superstar, and I believe Xander Zayas is that guy. He's in a weight class where he's stacked of talent, and that's only gonna help him progress, and it's only gonna help him achieve that goal, achieve the superstar status. And there's a lot of great options now. In that same weight class, what happened in the UK, Josh Kelly becoming the new IBF junior middleweight champion by upsetting the champion Bakram Murtasaliev. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. Um, Now we have a unified world champion in the weight class, and we have the a new IBF champion. I could see that unification being done easily. I know that it was just announced actually, or I just saw it, that Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman, they have a new date where they're set to fight. Once the fight gets out the way, sure, the WBC champion would be available, whether it's Thurman, whether it's Fundora. Um, but the available champions right now that can start negotiating, yeah, they're gonna take a few days off, maybe a couple of weeks, rest up a bit, go back to their families. But after, I could see that unification being made where Sayas puts up both of his belts, and we have Josh Kelly lining up his IBF title for now a three-belt unification match at the junior middleweight weight class. I've said it once, and as far as talent goes in one weight class, I know that you could say, oh, maybe there's these fighters, but those fighters fight in different weight classes. Shakur moved up to 140. For example, I'm gonna use the lightweight and the super lightweight division. Shakur moved up to 140 for 1 fight, but he mentioned that he plans on coming down to 135. At 135, there's good fighters, but there's not it's not a weight class where it's stacked of numerous fighters that can be considered elite level fighters or top notch level fighters. You have Gary Antoine Russell who's fighting at 140, Richardson Hitchens who's fighting at 140. They're good fighters, very skillful fighters, but they're at 140. Teofimo Lopez, still good skillful fighter, great fighter, but he's at 40. 35, Shakur Stevenson. At 35, we have the young champion Abdullah Mason, and of course Raymond Murataya. But see, those names, they're scattered. A couple of names are fighting at 40, a couple of names are fighting at 35, and at 154, they're all there. Virgil Ortiz, Xander Zayas, Sebastian Fundora, Bakram, who just lost his title, but he's still up there. Josh Kelly, the new IBF champion. And of course, I cannot forget about Boots Ennis. That, in my opinion, the junior middleweight weight class is the most stacked weight class as of right now when it comes to talent. We have all fighters are in their prime. All fighters are either undefeated or world champions. If they're not world champions, they're top-notch level fighters. They maybe haven't gotten the opportunity for one reason or another, management-wise, promoters getting in the way, whatever the case may be. But they're all fighters are great fighters, and they're all in their prime. They're all top-notch level fighters. They're elite in their prime, and that's a weight class where a lot of noise is gonna be made if we get those big fights made. And I think that's the route that we're gonna be seeing in the next year or so, or this year if anything. In Puerto Rico, like I said, Zayas already became a unified world champion. Overseas in the UK, we had a new world champion merge up. We Josh Kelly maybe wasn't, like I said, another fighter who probably is not the most known fighter, but he just came onto the scenes. Um, and of course, we have the WBC Inferno Tower champion coming back from his hand injury, and the fight being postponed, but now it's back on where he's going to be defending against Keith Thurman, Virgil Ortiz, and Boots Ennis. Virgil currently has he's got his, I guess, promotional problem, or he's trying to get that situated. He's trying to get that situation fixed where, I'm sure all of you may have heard already, where he's in a lawsuit with his current promoter, Golden Boy, and Oscar De La Hoya and all that. Boots Ennis, I'm sure he's probably gonna look to take a different route, maybe get a stay busy fight to not gain any ring rust. But in my opinion, the junior middleweight division is the most stacked weight class with talent right now, and man, you know, we had a great weekend of boxing. That's all I could say. Like I said, three different fight cards, all in different places in New York, in the UK, in Puerto Rico, and they were all great events. I was able to catch two of them. I wasn't able to catch the Josh Kelly versus the Murtasali fight live. I saw I was able to catch the fight afterwards, but man, I'm excited for what's next to happen in the 154 junior middleweight class, and of course at the 135 and at 140 junior, and at the 140 weight classes as well. So, man, it was a great weekend overall. I don't have anything else to say. I can break down the Zayas versus Abbas Barrel fight a little more. And it looked that in certain during the fight, in certain times, that maybe Sayas was running into trouble because of the pressure that Abbas Barrel was putting on. But he was able to stay composed, stay calm during those moments, during those heated exchanges. He was getting the better of it, actually. If you pay attention to the fight, when, I guess you could say, it looked that Abbas was taking control, or when he was getting when he was able to have success in certain moments, it was actually Zayas who was getting the better of the exchanges. So I saw Zayas dominate. Abbas did have some, good moments. Maybe he won a few rounds, but Zayas, I guess you could say he won decisively. There was no question in that. And Josh Kelly did the same thing. He was a superior boxer than Bakram. He was able to floor the champion early. Then he gets floored, came back, and he fought like the champion that he is. He showed why he is a world champion now. So that was it for these videos, guys. I wanted to break the videos into two. It would have been a longer video, but I wanted to give you guys, shorter videos, but with two different topics. And I'm gonna be uploading a lot more videos. You know, I've stayed more consistent with these, and I'm gonna continue to do so. So I'll see you guys on the next one. That was it for this one, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video, like I mentioned. All right, guys. Peace out.